the rest of my neighbors, my sisters and brothers here. Yesterday I visited my sister, and I didn't know whether to pay her student school fees, give her some clothes, help her with the leakage of the roof in her room, or what I'll do. A primary school is just next door to my bedroom, and I open it every day. There's no assembly going on, there are no teachers there, and nothing is happening. And I know about more than 2,000 to 3,000 students roam there every day doing nothing. What I'm saying is the gap is wide, as bad as the situation is. For us here, it's getting wider, and there is no attempt to breach it. I know there are policies looking at us as a nation, but I know we need deliberate and conscious efforts to breach the gap for those of us that are way back behind. I know you, Mr. Fola Adiola, and I know what you stand for and what you represent and what you're capable of doing. I also know Malam Nuhu Ribadu, because I've walked along the corridors of federal government for a long time while he was the chairman of AFCC. And I know the tough time he went through fighting corruption in a predominantly corrupt society. What I'm saying, sir, we need to look at Kano beyond the general outlook of Nigerian scope, so that if there are only 3 senators sitting round table, and Kano has only 3 representing and 3 from a state where there are 2 million people, it's just not the same. It's just not the same.
I believe the VP has answers to this
and
as
the gap
quickly
can
as
never
possible.
be filled, just like in other United Nations, but when you look at things that are so bad, you need to put deliberate policies to be able to address them. What deliberate policies are
Quickly, sir.
The question was not asked quickly. So I mean, we need to dignify the question. Aisha, this is the nature of problems, particularly when we have stacked things against ourselves. And then we look at them and we say to ourselves, where do we start from? Things are so bad, and you say, where do you start from? The training of a leader is that you start from the first thing that you see. Okay? We're in an emergency situation, and when you're in an emergency, you just have to put out the tents so that people have to sleep under a tent and live the weather. But the problem of Nigeria, if we get it right, where we should start from truly, everything will fall in place. We have been under-led, if led at all. I think we've been poorly led, right? People who ought not to have responsibility, or who cannot take responsibility for themselves as individuals, are taking responsibility for the nation. You know? And that is the challenge that we have. On day one, we come into government, let the discipline follow us in. Okay, this is discipline. I said in a place that we must get institutions back to doing that which they were set up to do. If institutions begin to do that which they were set up to do, then things alter immediately. And you find that if the leadership is correct, I've never found a leader getting to work at 7 and the followers or subordinates getting to work at 7:10. No. It will happen on day 1. But by day 2, everybody follows. I can't imagine a Nuhu Ribadu not getting to work on time. I can't imagine a Nuhu Ribadu keeping files on his desk for a week. How old is he? What can be his problem? Right? And when things are put out there, and we have a chart in his office, right on his wall, this is a project, these are the things we're doing. How far do we expect to get to in week 3? And people are giving the report. You know, the Federal Executive Council will cease to be a contract awarding council, but a report giving council. This is how far we have got. And implementation and supervision. And all those things will happen. There are certain areas in a nation state where we use parity for state. The Senate happens to be one such area. But if you then go to the House of Representatives, you will find that the Kano population is adequately reflected in the number of reps over that state which has only 2 million people. So at some point, there's only one Nigerian president, regardless of where it comes from, okay? The next one is going to come from Yola Adamawa, all right? And therefore, we will not create a president for Ogun or for Lagos because they have 6 million population. Then the Senate, they will have 3 per state, but in the House of Representatives, then they vary. And then in the local government, they vary even more. That is how politically we balance things. But I don't want the problems to inundate you or to frustrate you. The only reason I am on this journey is because those who have embarked on the journey before me have not done what they promised us they were going to do, or what the journey requires them to do, right? Ordinarily, if they had done that, I should be going on minding my business, and I have so many of them to mind. But I then said to myself, in the hands of these people, my life is like your driver is driving you. And then you get to a petrol station and say, stop, go out, leave the air conditioner on, go and buy me a Coke. And before he comes back, you have just sat in the driver's seat. Because you know that at the rate at which the way he was driving you, he's going to kill you anyway. You don't mind if he killed himself, right? But he's going to take you along with him. So you take the steering by yourself. That is what we want to do now. Let us take the steering by ourselves. Now, it is not for me. It is for me to volunteer myself and for Malam Nuhu to volunteer himself. But you know what? Somebody said to me, what can stop you? I said, only you. Only the 5 million people, the 6 million people in Lagos. If on the 9th of April you take your thumb, whether they put it to the left or to the right, you look for the sign of the broom. If you cannot read Nuhu, Ribadu, or Fola Adiola, you look for the sign of the broom, and you place your thumb squarely within that place, right? And they count the votes, and it's 5 million, Ribadu, Adeola. Who can stop us? Nobody. Nobody can stop us. And you know what? You will then discover that this your thumb can make president, you know? And if we dare mess up, whether that person is Uribadu or Fola Adiola or both of them, with this same thumb, 4 years down the road, what are you going to do? Flush them out, you know? And let you realize today and forever that the only reason you have been subjected to this kind of indignity is because you have volunteered to be treated with indignity. The moment you say to yourself, enough is enough, enough will be enough. And the only way, you are not going to fight, you are not going to shoot any gun, you are not going to buy any bomb, you are just going to keep that your voter's card. That is your passport to prosperity. You keep that your voter's card, and on that day, let me tell you, they are going to task and try your patience. All right? If you give 1 day, after all, you fast 30 days for Ramadan, don't you? Right? If you give 1 day to change your life for good, you get there in time, get accredited, stay on the queue, put your finger against what? Against the broom, okay? And wait for it to be counted and follow the counting. You understand? And make sure that is the number that was counted, that was recorded. Only 1 day. Only 1 day. And then this suffering stops. This suffering ends. And indeed, psychologically, physically, emotionally, we have used the broom to sweep them out of what they don't know what to do with. That is what we are supposed to do. I thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. You have actually been informed that we have overshot the 1 hour allocated for the airing of this program. Let me just quickly invite the National Coordinator for Team Ribadu, Mr. Toby Oluwatola, to give a call to action, after which we might have to consider some of the questions that came online. Thank you.
Excellent.
Kai ne ka zamo fitacce halayen ka bin kwatance baka iya gulma da tsegumi ba.
Excellent. Good evening, Kanu. Good evening, Kanu. Excellent. One of the things that really excites me about having to do this is because I don't really have to do it, because Mr. Fola Adeola just did it. He just charged us, and there's this saying about ancient Greece, that every time Cicero spoke, that people said great speech, but every time Demosthenes spoke, they said, let's march. What these men have done to us today is to set us marching. Set us marching. Set us marching towards the new Nigeria. And it is really simple what we need to do. What we need to do is really easy. Let's mobilize one another. Let's talk to our friends. Let's talk to our family. Let's talk to the people within our sphere of influence. If you are a professional, you have a guard, you have a maid, you have dependents. If you're a parent, you have children that are voting age. If you're a young person, you have colleagues at school. Talk to your friends. Those of us that work, we have colleagues at work. Let's talk to these people. Let's challenge them with these same words with which we have been challenged. Because we have heard directly from the sources, we can go back there and echo the same voice. You are a Nuribadu. You are a Fola Adeola, because you will echo their words to the people in your circle of influence. And that's what we ought to go back and do. The Holy Quran says that verily I say unto you, the condition of the people will not change unless they change it themselves. And this election is our opportunity to change our conditions. It's our opportunity to change our life, to change the quality of the lives we live. It's our opportunity to stop polio killing our children. It's our opportunity to stop the decadence in our education sector. It's our opportunity to create jobs for ourselves. It's our opportunity to change our lives. And this is what we ought to do. On election day, put your hand on the broom. Look for the broom and put your thumb there. Pack your load early, have your meal, your lunch packed, have your water bottles packed, and go there 8 a.m. Accreditation will start at 8 a.m. Get there before 8 a.m. and be on the queue. Wait to be accredited. By 12 noon, accreditation will end and voting will commence. INEC has said that nobody will be allowed to leave after accreditation ends. Remain there and cast your vote, and then wait for it to be counted. And the people of Kano have taught us this. Last 4 years, when we were going to elect the current governor, the people of Kano stood by their vote and they made sure that their votes counted. Such that they had to call and say that we can't read this one. And we know the people of Kano will do it again. And not only will the people of Kano do it, the whole of Nigeria will do it. We will stand by our vote. We will not be cheated out this time, because this year, this election, not in 5 years' time, not in 4 years' time. Some have said that we should wait till 2015. No, our house is on fire. We can't wait for 4 years to put it out. This election is our time to put it out. So we have to do it. Give up that day. Give up that day to change our lives. Thank you very much. A new Nigeria is possible with you and I.
Thank you very much. I think my coordinator deserves another round of applause, please. Yeah. The president will take one last online question. I believe AIT has gone off air, but TV Continental and other online platforms are still available for us. So we are going to take the last question on security from Mr. Olainde Shakiru from Lagos, which goes directly to the presidential candidate. Sir, what will you do to stop the bomb blast in this country?
This is a question that came on my Facebook yesterday as well. The bomb blast. We didn't know about bomb blast in this country before. It's a new thing. Therefore, we can stop it because it's not part of us. We didn't know kidnappings before. All these things started not long ago. But you know what? It's as a result of incompetence, mismanagement, inability to lead and just do what is right. And if you do not have good leadership, everything will collapse. We will work hard. All the reforms that we intend to carry out certainly is going to bring relief. We will address problem of the economy and justice. If you want to get security, work on these two things. The economy, and we have shared with you, and I'm very, very happy. I'm really excited with this conversation that we are having, this dialogue. PDP will never do that. I have listened to you, you have listened to us. You are asking the questions, and we are just normal, ordinary people sharing with you our own thoughts and our beliefs. And we want to tell you that we mean well. We are honest with what you are telling you. We are not making it up. We are not trying to impress too much. We are just ourselves, very, very natural. We do intend to solve problems confronting us. We will use the resources that God has gave this country. We are going to use this human capital that God has put in this country, 150 million people, hardworking, good Nigerians, honest, hardworking people. And we are going to bring justice and fairness to all. We believe that this country can work. We believe that we can take care of one another. We can be fair to each other. We can promote peace, stability, and security. Those are fundamental things that can make it possible for us to make things like bomb, kidnappings, a thing of the past. That is the focus of the administration that we are going to run. Just, fair, honest, at the same time, compassionate. Then, of course, we will work further. We will get the best hands and quality people that are going to be in the government. We will reorganize the law enforcement, the security agencies. We will make sure that, for example, Nigerian Police Force, which I am a very proud member, that will be taken care of in a way that they will give us their best. Today, it's unfortunate. If you know the condition under which they operate, you will understand if we are not getting the best from the law enforcement agencies. Our government will reorganize these institutions. We'll make sure that their living standard will be raised and in a way that they will be able to work hard to give us security. We will bring the best technologies that are available. The good thing is that it's an area that I'm good at. It's one of the so many things that I can assure you that I have experience. And we are going to convert that into making sure that we solve these problems. Bombs, kidnappings, armed robbery will certainly be a thing of the past if you give us opportunity. We will solve it. We will solve it. We will solve it. I want to assure you that this can be done. I want to seize the opportunity once again to thank you. Thank you for this opportunity, for this chance for you to listen to us. It is an interaction. It is a conversation. It is a dialogue. Please, ladies and gentlemen, be aware that we are always available. You can get us on the Facebook, Twitter, telephone. I can even give you my number if you like. It is always available. You can always call me. You can always get me. You can text me, and I can give you the assurance I will give you answer. The same thing with Fola Adiola. He is available. We want to be part of you. We want to carry our people along. We want this opportunity for us to solve our problems collectively. We are going to do it. Thank you very much, and may God bless you.
Thank you, sir. And I also have to ask for your forgiveness because I've just been informed that AIT is still on air. So, yeah, and we have to continue along that line. So based on that, we still have a question that has to do with the economy, which obviously goes to the VP. The question is, please, sir, our Nigerian market is dominated with Asians. They have even come to settle down here trying to push out the Nigerian traders from the market. When you take your position as the Vice President, what action are you going to take?
No action against nationalities of other countries that are living here according to our laws. That is not the problem. The problem is there are certain habits of highly effective developing nations that we need to cultivate. For example, we need to eat what we produce and produce what we eat. Today, everything comes from outside. it is such a consumption economy that you begin to wonder for how much longer will this sustain? Whether it's toothpick, sometimes water, you know, Rua Baba must not hear this. Whatever you call it, we just keep bringing them into our country. Kanu had over 600 manufacturing companies in the last 30, 20 years ago. They are all shut down. Nothing is manufactured here anymore. This is the home of hides and skins. You know, there are things that we can do here. Even our agriculture, we can begin to add to them and create secondary product from the primary product that we produce. Those are the things that we need to address. If we are not buying toothpick that is brought from wherever, and so on and so forth, people will limit the number of foreigners that are coming here, not by us limiting them, but because every junk that they produce, you know, you get introduced to them, and then you get used to them. Part of getting ourselves to work is creating enabling environment for manufacturing, sustainable manufacturing to occur here. Part of getting us to work is getting ourselves engaged so that we can start liking things that we make here, because we begin to make them well. Look at the textile industry. If we had carried on making textiles here, right, it will not just be Egyptian. When you go to Harrods or Selfridges or all those big shops in England, you get to a place and say, this is Egyptian cotton, right? That is the premium cotton. We don't want our own cotton here. We grow cotton here. You know, those are the things that we need to do. And anybody that then wants to come here and enjoy his life can come here and enjoy his life. And that will be tourism for us that we make money from. But we're not going to hound people out because they've come here. We were the ones that allowed them. When our rules change, when our habits change, everything will moderate and water go find your own level. You know, that is the truth.
Question out of the 4 questions that were asked about, is it medical tourism? Yes, I think it's a very good question, because so much money today is going out of this country to outside countries that are not necessarily better than us. It is our program and it is our intention that if you give us chance, we do intend to set up hospitals. In addition to the existing ones that we have, we are going to rehabilitate them. We are going to make sure that they work. We do intend to create 6 new hospitals. The reason why is that we found these 6 areas or these 6 hospitals are exactly the diseases and the challenges that our people have, that they all go out today to Egypt and to India. We do intend to set up at least 6 hospitals in the 6 geopolitical zones in this country. And the hospitals are going to be for kidney specialists, heart specialists, cancer, women, children, and neurosurgery. Why are we doing that? We found that it is not going to be a very difficult thing. We have worked. We have already got competent people, experts, to work and come up with some of these solutions. Today in the US alone, there are over 5,000 Nigerian specialists, doctors, that are there working for the US people. We want to bring them back. We want to create an environment, bring all the tools and what they will use for them to also take care of their own people. These hospitals can work because the personnel are there. Nigerians are already out there all over the world. Get these hospitals and you will see how they will come back. It's the beginning. It may not be the end solution to all the problems. While we are working on the primary health care delivery, while we are working on improving the quality of our people who are going to be in that sector, while we are rehabilitating the existing hospitals, we are also going to create these 6 specialist hospitals that hopefully may relieve our people. You don't have to go out to either Egypt or India as it is today. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Yeah, at the beginning of the program, you might remember that I informed you of the arrival of the National Secretary of the ACN, Senator Lawan Shuaibu, as well as Alhaji Musa Gwadebe. But in the course of the program, we have also been joined by the Director General of the Ribadu Adiola Campaign Organization, Chief Audu Obe, ACN Kano Central Senatorial Candidate Hajiana Jatu Muhammad, Engineer Ibrahim Ali, who is the ACN gubernatorial candidate for Borno State, as well as Alhaji Yusuf Aliyu. We also have the ACN Kano State Chairman Salisu S. Abba, as well as his secretary